How do moth priests find love? Well, they also go on blind dates. They go with the Falmer. What's going on, YouTube? It is the weekend. In case you didn't notice, we're inside the Hollow City, inside of Cold Harbor, because we have survived another grueling week at work, and we are finally tantalized by the thought that there could be something good inside this weekend's two golden vendors. So we start with a prayer wheel. I'll be honest, I don't know exactly how this is a prayer wheel. I get that it rotates, and it seems like you could make a puzzle with this. What you pray to with this, not a clue. But you also some bang for your buck here. You get some banners. You get a nice little chair. 2,500 gold, by the way, for a nice looking chair is a decent value. You got some coffers, a display case. I do actually put these in my house because you can also remember you can phase items in. So it's like, oh look, a display case with soul gems. The glass is a little bit reflecty though, just fair warning. And we have some more urns. We have an altar for 3,000 gold. That's not bad, for an altar. But depending on, if you're into those witchy vibes, if you're trying to impress the goth girls in Riften, you probably don't need an altar for your home. You can get an orb that is breakable. That's something. But really, what caught my eye when I was scrolling, I was like, these are really dope. I don't know where I'm going to put this in my house, but like, a gigantic column with a serpent coming out of it gives a little Slytherin vibes, for Harry Potter. That's what I meant when I said Slytherin. But like, these are actually pretty dope. I really like these. And again, you may want to purchase these for yourself. You may want to, try to resell these. But I do think these columns, 20,000 gold, is probably some of the best resale value. Followed closely probably by the display case. Everybody loves display cases, display all the stuff. And then the praying to the circular this. And I know what you're thinking right now. Jake, are those new pants? They are. I got new pants and new shoes for my character. I'm always nervous. I feel like I can never update his appearance, the drip, without people being like, who the hell is that guy on screen? I'll be like, it's my guy, the guy that carries the torch. I can't ever use a different character either. Everybody knows this one. But please like and subscribe. We are 80 subscribers away from our next goal of 200. So please hit the subscribe button. And now we're inside, not the Hollow City. We're inside of Cyrodiil to go over, not looking too great here. Don't worry, this isn't Greyhost. This is just Blackreach. To go over our second golden vendor to see if they've got anything here good for us. And we start off with Burning Spellweave. When you deal damage with a flame ability, you apply the burning status effect to the enemy and increase your weapon and spell damage by 490 for 8 seconds. It's going to occur once every 12 seconds. So this used to just be like one of the best go-to Dragon Knights things. Why Dragon Knights? They generally like to burn people. Why do they like to burn people? Dragon is literally in the name. It's not a convoluted topic here to go over. This comes from City of Ash. It's a dungeon set. Is it worth buying? Probably not. Now, Burning Spellweave will get recommended in some builds. And if you've not farmed any City of Ash, it can be really annoying to go in there and try to get a jewelry piece from scratch, because you're guaranteed, yes, to get items, from certain bosses. So the final boss will drop any weapon or jewelry piece that you don't have. Well, the problem is that there's a lot of weapons, a lot of jewelry pieces, so it could take a while. Should you buy it? Probably not, but it is still a good set. We'll give this like a 9.0. This is a fantastic set in its best utilization, which is generally for DKs. 490 weapon and spell damage is a lot. And considering it's an unnamed buff, it'll stack with all the other buffs that are out there. So it's a fantastic set to use for what it's good at. Next up, you get 2 guesses. Where does this come from? Your first guess, if it was Murkmire, your second guess should have been Shadowfen, because it's called the Hiss Sap. So we have Robes of the Hiss. This is our necklace. After being hit by a disabling immobilization effect or snare, you heal for 2,440 health every 1 second for 5 seconds. Now, a lot of people are pretty harsh. This is a very divisive set. Let's bind on pickup, so you could buy this with your AP or your gold, or you could also go find people selling it inside of Mournhold, all these other trading hubs selling it right meow. Should you buy this? Is this a good set? This is divisive, right? A lot of people have said, post Mara's Balm nerf, this is the marquee healing, recovery set, etc. Do I agree with that? I'm kind of in the middle. There are a lot of people who think this is just hot garbage and that you could just wear anything else and it would be better. I'm somewhere in the middle. I think this is like an 8.25 set. I think it's a great set if you build it very specifically. There are people out there that will put this in 10 out of 10. I'm not one of those people. I think that you can get the healing effect from other places. You're not really getting yes, health is an important one. It's 2, 3, and 4 as mag, weapon, and spell, and magicka kind of limits what you might want to build with it a little bit. This is a divisive set. You feel free to let me know what your comments are below, but I would say this is a great set if you build it properly. It's not a marquee set. It's not a staple set, but I would give it pretty high ratings nonetheless. Next up is from Banished Cells 1 and 2. You can farm either of those bad boys, and it's the Sanctuary set. Now, this one, not divisive at all. It gives you health, healing received, maximum magicka, increase your healing received by 10% for you and 11 other group members within 10 meters of you. This bonus, thankfully, persists through death, so if for some reason you're dead, don't worry. The heals that would be applied to you are increased by 10%. Now, you might think to yourself, Jake, what's wrong with other people getting a little bit of healing, bonus? Here's the problem, is that healers generally don't need to heal. It's a hot take, I know. If you're hearing this for the first time on a Golden Vendor review, your whole world is probably shocked. Generally, healers want to buff you. They obviously need to keep you alive, but generally, the best way to keep you alive is to buff you to kill things faster, because if things are dead, they can't deal damage to you, and therefore they don't need to heal you as much, and therefore sets like these aren't very good. And the bonus persisting through death I find comical, because it's like, if you're the healer, bro, they need you alive. Like, the bonuses are only helpful if you're there with them. Maybe you could say, oh, but Jake, in PvP, yes, you could, sure. Battle Spirit will, change, but oh my goodness gracious, all the potential little things that could make this set better. It's like a 6.0. It's above average. It's a 6. Next up is actually from Grotwood, and it's Cyrus Bane's Grip set. Now, this one's magicka magicka recovery, weapon and spell, magicka itself, and then when you block frost, shock, or magic damage, you restore 805 magicka. This effect can occur once every second. Now, something like this it's fine, right? The problem is that we live in a day and age of like Wretched Vitality, Roxas. There's just so many good sustain options. Why would you want to do something where you have to specifically block flame, frost, or shock, or magic damage to restore magicka? Now, granted, PvP, you'd be doing that pretty frequently, so you might think, okay, cool. And in that situation, yes, that's probably its best utilization is for PvP, because tanks, like healers, generally wear support sets. The only thing you're supporting right here is a very weird niche for you to get more magicka back. Just heavy attack, depending on what you're doing. In PvP, I think that this is a perfectly fine 8.0, very situationally great set. If you're building some sort of like crazy block, sustain, annoying build, you could say that's its best utilization. It probably, for 99% of the player base, is lower, however. Next one, though, spoiler, bit of a banger. I love this monster set. Now, it gives you 1 piece, maximum stand, but it's 2 piece. When you deal damage with a melee heavy attack, you spew a cone of corruption, dealing 4988 disease damage to enemies over 4 seconds. However, this damage is increased by 10% for each negative effect the enemy has, up to a maximum of 300%. This effect can occur once every 10 seconds and scales off your weapon or spell damage. This set, I love this set. It's almost like an execute built into a heavy attack. So many builds use setups like this for PvP. It's a staple. Putting tons of really bad effects on people and then just waxing them with a Marsalok hit and then causing additional damage. 10% additional damage up to 300%. On a 4988, and if you're building weapon and spell damage and getting procs that I don't have right now, that number is even higher, you can whack some people. Especially dueling, Marsalok is a pretty much must-own. Now, that's not to say that every set in the game is going to use Marsalok, but that doesn't say, though, that Marsalok is not a staple of PvP. Now, PvE, it's fine. The problem is that PvE, you're just going to use other things. You're probably going to definitely use Oaken Soul for a lot of like solo content. So you're not going to be building this in. You're probably going to use Sergeant's Mail. So you could use this in like a Sergeant's Mail heavy attack build. It's probably not at its best, though. There's probably just better ways to build a heavy attack build or a PvE build. But that's not to say, though, that you couldn't use this for PvE content. It probably just drops to an 8 versus the 10 out of 10 that it is at killing players. Next up is Prior Theorix. Now, unlike the last one, it's a little harder to guess. Marsalok, very easy to figure out where that comes from. It comes from Lair Marsalok. Unfortunately, there's no layer of Prior Theoric. It's actually from Red Petal Bastions. 1-piece, weapon and spell damage, and it's 2-piece, dealing direct damage with an area of effect ability, creates a 6-meter shadowy whirlwind behind your enemy for 7 seconds. Enemies within that whirlwind takes 993 physical damage every second, and increase their damage taken from your area of effect abilities by 5%. This effect can occur once every 15 seconds. That's a whole lot of words. Are any of them good? I mean, if you're in a bunch of trash fights where you're doing a bunch of AoEs, yeah, it's good in those situations. We'll just give it a 7.9. To say that this is a great set, I think would go too far. But to say that this is a good set in some niche utilizations where you've got big trashy monsters all over the place and you want to deal extra damage with your area of effects, sure, give it a 7.9. Does not tip over into the great scale like some of our other sets do, but it's good. But everyone, thank you guys so much again for watching. If you're curious to keep my cat distracted when I record these videos, I put her cat bed right up here on the table with me. So now she can't come and knock over all of my stuff. Now my camera's not centered. We'll fix that later. So it's been a bit easier to record. But I just want to say thank you guys so much again for watching. Congrats to the person who found the hidden word on the earlier video today. We're doing our 3 giveaway drawings. All you need to do to enter is be subscribed. And for an additional drawing on that, just follow on Twitch and Twitter, linked below. The second drawing is going to be a combination of people who leave comments and like the video. YouTube creates a community highlight tab, and they take into consideration comments and likes. And the third thing is just look for another hidden word be flashed upon the screen. We do usually 1 a month, sometimes 2 if I put it on an early video. And we also have, excitingly, codes for ESO, including the Gold Road chapter codes. We have ESO Plus codes, and we have Crown codes to give away. But if none of those tickle the pickle, we can also give you a gift card now, which is what we had been doing for 2 years now. So thank you guys again, and I'll catch you later. Bye, guys.
You better remember to like and subscribe to Jakeclips. Or you should. I might have to pluck your eyes if you don't. Or, better yet, I'll skip rope with your entrails. Do it now. Subscribe. Ta-ta. Off with you.